Hi everyone, my name is Dakshita and I'm your social science educator on Study Room. In this video, we will be starting our chapter number 6, which is population. Let's understand a bit about population. We have often heard this term in a sense of a problem or um, something which is negative. For example, India's population is very high. That seems like a problematic statement. But what if we convert this problem into a resource which can be very, very useful for us and for the nation? So, in this chapter, we will be studying about what is population, what is human resource, and what are its characteristics. So, let's start. Now, it's very important for us to understand that population is very, very important, and to study population is even more important. What are basically what comes under population? What kind of people are there? Where do they live? And why these the term population be is always seem to be increasing? We say population is increasing. Why is that so? The most important and the most brainy thing in the world is humans. Humans can convert anything and can invent any possibility on the planet. For example, as basic as a rock, a coal was just a rock, right? If we see a coal, it's just a rock, it's just some solid state which cannot be of any use. But humans have to, come out of this technology. They invented this technology that this coal, with the technical advancement, can be very, very powerful resource for us. And today, coal is considered as one of the most important resources, right? So the power of human um, should not be undertaken, right? So in detail, we will study all the characteristics of population and all the reasons in detail. Let's begin. Very first thing to start with is census. What is census? In India, the first census was held in year 1872. The first complete, the duration of which, although it started in 1872, but it was completed in 1881. Now, in detail about census, census is basically official enumeration of population. Okay, this is a very important term to understand. It's official enumeration. So, enumeration is seems like a big word, but the meaning is very simple. Enumeration basically means collecting a form of data or mentioning, uh, in a page very, very important things and lots of things, basically. Okay, so enumeration in a larger and broader sense is collecting all the data and listing everything. Okay, so census is official enumeration of population. Okay, so how do we count populations? How do we get to know how many people live in a particular area? Well, census after every 10th year, so it is a periodic process which happens. So after every 10 years, census work on enumerating of population, enumerating data. Now, in India, it's very important that we have such kind of census. Why? Not just because that we want to know how many people live there, no, but it's also very, very important for social, demographic, and economical reasons as well. Okay, so that's why census here plays a very important role. Okay, so the department is known as Census of India. As you can see the logo as well. In Hindi, it is called Bharat Ki Janganna. Okay, so this is census. Now we'll study here some very, very important terms regarding population. First is demographics of India. Now, the term demographics, okay? To understand demographics of India, we need to understand the word demographic simply. So demographic is related to structural or structure of population. For example, these are two different states which are demarcated. So what is the demographic of these area? Means as per the structure, what kind of population and of what characteristic of population can be found in this particular region or this particular region. Okay, so it's as per the structure. Okay, um, so we'll study the demographic of India, means in which states how many percentage or how many people are basically live. Okay, so India's population on March 2011 was 1210.6 million, which was undistributedly which was undistributed over an area. So in the area in which they were located were 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay, so these many people were located in this area. Okay, now let's understand and put some light on this particular pie chart, which can be very, very useful for us to understand which are the states where population are being overpopulated, or the population is very, very high. Okay, one of them I think we all can very clearly see is Uttar Pradesh, right? Second of them is Maharashtra. Then we have Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and we also have Madhya Pradesh, whose population is equally high. So these are the five places where the uh, population accumulated are in large numbers. Okay, so this is what we got to know by the demographics of India. Now, putting light on some important points here are, we know that India is populated, but how much populated in reference to the world? Well, India accounts 17.5% percentage of population in account of world's total population. Which means which means out of so many people living in the world, 17.5% people live in India. And now what area it accounts? So this is the earth that I've tried to draw. This may be Tropic of Cancer. Yeah. So yeah, the area which India account is 2.4%. And these five states have almost half of the population uh, of India. Okay. Now talking about area which is in the larger in size, means the more land mass. So the biggest state is Rajasthan, where the population is almost 5.5% or 6%. Okay. So this is about demographics of India. Now, how can we study the chapter without brainstorming a little? So here's again very important brainstorming for you all. What could be the reason of uneven distribution of population in India? Yes, we have studied in the pie chart that population in India is very unevenly distributed. So what is the reason for this? Now, broadly, we answer this question under these 3 points. First, and very important reason is geographical factor. Geographical factors are refers to the type of landmass, topography, what kind of vegetation is grown, availability of water resource, and all the other resources available. Favorable climate becomes a very, very important factor. So these are some geographical factors which influence population, and which also becomes a very important reason to attract the population. For example, Indo-Gangetic Plains and diamond mines of South Africa are uh, some of the examples of geographical factors. Second is social and cultural factor. Social and cultural factor again become a very, very important factor for many people. It is also due to the religious belief that people have. It is also because of the education system, the cultural values, areas of better health, better medical conditions, and proper housing. Okay, so these are few factors which attract people. it comes under social and cultural factors. So if we consider this factor, so Varanasi and Judaism are few densely populated areas because this is the major cause which attract the factor. Next, and the third and very important thing is economic factors. Yes, people shift from rural place to urban place because of economic factor, better job opportunities, better education facilities, better health facilities, more employment opportunities, more opportunities to work. So these are the places which as an economic factors influences a lot. And under this, lot of metropolitan cities and almost all the metropolitan cities which have very varied of job opportunities. For example, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, if we talk about in India, and Osaka. Okay, so these are the factors why the population is very unevenly distributed. Okay, moving moving next, we will study about India's population distribution by density. So now the density of population is calculated by number of person living per unit area. Okay, so in per unit of area, how many people are living it leads to calculate the density of population. Okay, this is the basic formula that is applied to calculate the density. Now, the population on average, in the density of Indian population on average is 382 person living per square kilometer. Means in per square kilometer, there are 382 people who are living. Okay, but alone in Bihar, it is 1,102 people living per square kilometer in Bihar, and two, there are 17% living per square kilometer in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so of course this is a difference of the unevenly distribution of the population. Now next thing is, you need to identify three states of northern plains which have higher population densities. Very good question. You can observe the map, so you will see the three states which have it's three states of northern plains which have higher population density are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and West Bengal. Okay, so this was about density of Indian population. Next, let's brainstorm a little. The question is, how do climate and relief, which we have studied in the previous chapter, how do climate and relief influence the population density of a region? Do you think climate and relief becomes a factor that influence population or no? Uh, Put little stress on your brain and find out what could be the reason. Well, obviously, as we have studied as well, climate becomes a very important factor. If the climate is favorable to the people, if it's comfortable for human survival, then only population will go there and will establish themselves and start living. Okay, if the climate is favorable, only then. Relief, again, relief is one of also important factor. The kind of land and topography. Okay, uh, place or area which is very difficult for human survival. For example, mountainous region, it's not easy for everybody to live and survive in mountains, right? So it will not influence many people, but plains are very feasible and very convenient for the people. So that is why topography or relief plays a very important role, and climate as well, to influence the population. Okay, so that's it in this video. In the next video, we will discuss some more details, factors, and characteristics of population.